Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing? My name is Foro, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Clan vs. Clan double rewards just ended, and today we're going to talk about how you can min-max your resources to get big points as free to play. Before we get started, let's talk about a couple of things. I am not on my account, I am on my wife's account, Bluebonnet Angel. Her and I have been playing this game since global launch, so about 4 years ago. She's gone back to school about a year and a half ago, and I've essentially been playing this account as an alt account. And during that time, I've been playing it as free to play. So let's start by me showing you her points for CvC. Go to members, and fourth place in our clan with 365,000 points. We're going to go over some tips and tricks on how you can do this. This will be in no particular order. So let's get started. So a good way to start preparing for CvC is to get ready with resources. Now here we've got a ton of energy at 2,660. That is because we won CvC and she got personal rewards of all this energy. I've got her in tier 5, and that 350,000 did allow her to get milestone 10. Got all this juicy stuff, including a leg book. And we've also got 3,689 gems. That's a lot. That took a lot of time to collect. And some ways that we can get energy and gems are as so. In the clan shop, we get the goodie pack offered every day. It has different names: goodie pack, appreciation pack, whatever it is. But every other day, one of them has a refill. Now I let that go to my inbox. Here you've got, this is one from the goodie pack yesterday. I leave it in here. I don't use it every day because Plarium gives a lot of resources to be able to play this game continuously without having to really dive into every potential gem and energy refill you can get. Other things are the quests. If you don't want to do all your dailies, that's fine. But at least do the Fighting Classic Arena 5 times. You get a full energy refill. Now this you can't store in your inbox, you've got to use it. But hey, that gives us something to do at least. And if you complete them all, you've got 10 gems. Same with the advanced quest. If you complete them all, you get an energy refill. But scrolling to the bottom is normally the easier quest. And we can get 5 gems just from gathering 30 materials from faction war crypts. A lot of this is just something simple like forge a perception piece. So easy. It's like 10-second task. Another 5 gems, beat 3 faction war stages without losing a champ. This can be very easy if you're struggling with faction wars, don't have Lydia per se. Just go to stage 1, do 3, and get your 5 gems. Speaking of, oh, this is not faction wars, but we've got 50 energy we can get, so another source of energy. Win 1 tag team arena battles against a team with higher team power. That can be tricky, but you've got to do arena anyway, so you might as well try to go for that and target those teams that have that higher team power. Another way to get energy, and I think this is a very cost efficient, valuable way. When you go to your clan shop and it's got energy, I think it's a great deal to purchase this. We have a lot of coins. She doesn't buy a lot of stuff, but we do buy the energy. This is 1,000 clan currency to get 1,000 energy. And 1,000 energy, don't know the full math, but I want to say that's like 6-7 refills. That's a lot. You can also, if you're completely desperate, which I don't really suggest, but as an option, you can come here to the bazaar in the tag team arena section, get 300 energy. 1,000 gold bars from tag team is kind of a lot for 300 energy, but it could be something to get you over the top if you're just out of resources. And lastly, the Demon Lord for clan bosses. You want to be doing clan boss daily. The rewards are too good. It's one of the main places you get shards and skill tomes, whether it's epic books or legendary books. You also want to be in a clan that you can get the top chest of what they're defeating. So we're defeating Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare. You look at the drop info, and you get 10 to 20 gems, and that's times 2 chests. She's 2 King Ultra Nightmare, so she's 1 King Nightmare, and she's getting more gems. So you're looking at 50 gems per day potentially from that. So when you combine all that up, the gem mine and the quest and all the energy you get, just for gems, you can get like 100 gems a day. And for energy, you can get like 5 energy refills worth of play. And that'll last you a long time just for one day. I thought of another place I want to show you. The Doom Tower. People don't like the Doom Tower, I understand. It can be hard. But it does offer energy and gems. I believe every 10 floors we've got energy and gems. Energy and gems. So that's daily that you can also get those. We'll get into Faction Wars in a little bit, but as you can see, this is almost over, and I'm only at floor 39. I'm really not trying Dark Phase, so I'm not gaining these rewards, but they are available if you're moving on to that area and trying to get those gems in it. I did think of one more way that we get energy, and that's when you're at the Bastion, this daily timer, you can get energy if you're online for 60 minutes. I mean, if you run out of things to do, or for whatever reason you don't want to play the game for 60 minutes that day, just put your iPad on the couch, your phone, leave your PC on, and just check in 60 minutes, because this refill is valuable, as we just talked about. Now let's say you've used all your energy for the day. You're going to try to be disciplined, excuse me, and leave these energy refills in there. Well, what am I supposed to do? Plarium has provided a ton of content that does not cost gems or energy. So let's go into some of those, because this is what you want to do throughout your couple weeks waiting for CvC, so you can save those gems. Now, energy, you do want to use that up daily, because if it drops to 0, it's going to collect up to 130. If you're over 130 like I am here, you're not gaining any energy. But after you've used your energy and whatnot on whatever, let me show you some of the things that you can do that are not energy based. Going back to what we were just talking about is Doom Tower. Doom Tower has keys. You get 10 keys, 10 to climb floors, and then 10 to farm bosses. If you get stuck, I saw you couldn't see this earlier, but this resets in 1 week and 3 days. I'm kind of stuck right now on normal and hard at the Dark Phase stage. So I don't really get to use my 10 keys, but it is important to use your farming boss silver keys. So I go to one lower. I want to be in hard. I know that I've done this in hard because the forge materials are much better, so you can craft better gear. So just go to the one you beat, even if it's only stage 30. And this is just OG when she was pay to win team. But find one that you can farm, use up your keys, and that'll build up your forge for what you can make. Right now, she's got 1,206 items she can forge. Forge is another great way to get CvC points. She didn't have the time or the need to be able to get the score that she got this time. So other content to do, like we mentioned a minute ago, you want to use your Demon Lord clan boss keys. Another one that people hate, from my understanding, is Hydra. I know my clan members hate it. Hydra is hit or miss. You see, we've barely done anything. It's only been 2 days in, though. But, Hydra can be spent, a lot of time can be spent on Hydra, excuse me. And that can be time that's taken away from you grinding dragon, you grinding spider, whatever it may be. You want to use your energy on that stuff, get better gear, and get more silver. But when you run out, go into Hydra and test things out. Even if the rewards, even if you're only doing normal, This is Mithrala. She's one of the better champions in the game. And each week, if you're just beating normal even, you're going to get some fragments. Over time, that is going to get you a very powerful champion. You also get clan currency, and you get some nice gear that goes along with it, such as stone skin, which can be very powerful, especially in arena. You get these soul stones too. You never know when you're going to get lucky and get a good pull. But do Hydra. Embarrassingly to say for me, I do where are we? Are we on hard, on brutal? I do brutal and I can one key it. But 29.4, it's not an easy one key for me. A lot of times, like 5, 6, 7 hours on a Saturday, I'll spend doing, what is this I said? Doing brutal Hydra, just because I keep getting this close. I'm waiting for the perfect RNG. Now, you don't have to be excessive as that is spending that many hours, but I don't have a life, so I'm on my couch playing Raid all the time. But doing that, I barely loot any gems or energy throughout most of the weekend. So spend time in Hydra. Try to learn strategies about it. Try to learn what your champions can do and find synergy about what they can do. There's a lot of content creators on YouTube that can give you ideas and tips. That makes me think of another thing. As far as getting ideas and tips, talk in your clan chat. Join your clan's Discord or one of the bigger Discords that's got like thousands and thousands of raid members. The community is one of the greatest parts of raid. And if you're not communicating with them, you're not learning. It's more like you're just playing like a single player game. If you want to get involved and really beat some content and get the satisfaction out of that, which is what I get satisfaction when I beat new content, and I'm real competitive, so I like winning CvC. I only have done those things because I talked to people and learned what people with more experience had that they shared with me. Let's see, other things you can do without energy is arena. We've got classic arena. Okay, I got a super lucky page right here. I mean, look at all these easy people. But I'm in gold 5, and it seems like bronze or silver have super hard teams for whatever reason, but you need to find a way to get to gold 5. I put together a team I want to show you that really should be free to play friendly. Now, I know some of my weak I know some counters to the teams I have, like Warlord. I'm not going up against a Warlord team. And in fact, if you're trying to play the speed game and go first, if you see a Warlord on the team, just assume they're faster than you. You know, there's a lot of talk speed is not meta. In my opinion, that's platinum where speed is not meta. You can get way up to about where my cursor is in gold 5 playing the speed game. So let's see who we've got. Here's a Warlord. Unfortunately, I gotta avoid him. Let's try this team. It's definitely scary. All these teams are scary because I'm not used to having this kind of offense. But you know, I tried to make it free to play friendly. One thing you want to do is get Arbiter. That should be an early goal. Everyone has recently got Rhonda. Then I threw in a couple of epics. I've got Deacon to throw up the decreased defense, and then I've got Rhonda and Sinesha coming in to nuke it down. So, you know, I've got my AI set up. Our team power is pretty close. It lets me know I'm reasonably close in gear compared to them. And let's just auto it and see what happens. We need to go first. ×1, let's put this on ×2. Okay, we did get to go first. Now let's see if we wipe them out. And Sinesha, they don't have a reser, so they're not going to win now. Mithrala does not do enough damage. So it's just 15-second fight. Let's do one more. I felt confidence after beating that one. So let's go for this Warlord team. If we go first, it's a win. That's the kind of ways I choose to pick teams in Classic Arena. So we did go first. You want to be speed tuned when you have an arena team, and what that means is once you get started, they're not going to get a chance to go. There's a lot of websites that offer you speed tune calculators. And again, talking to clan members and Discord community can help you out with an idea of that. Now let me show you, just go here to show you my stats. So this is the team, and I have the arbiter at 322. I hope that you're able to get to 322. I'm going to go in the Bastion and the champion section and show you their gear. 282 Deacon is speed tuned to get him to go. And then I got Rhonda because Deacon will give some turn meter. 264 and 263, they go right back to back. I want to go ahead and go to the champion section of the Bastion to show you more specifically the gear that they have on. And this surprised me quite a bit when I was gearing them to see how much damage they could do, especially considering I was in gold 5. So they both have crit rate gloves on, Sinesha and Rhonda. So we've got crit rate, we've got cruel to ignore defense a little, and then I just went speed. And then for Sinesha, again, crit rate gloves. I did a crit rate set because I just couldn't find enough. Even with the crit rate set, I couldn't find enough because it was really important to get the speed that high. You know, it's hard to get damage dealers up to 260. So that's why the speed sets are important. I've got divine speed right here. Now, when you're doing this kind of speed race to do arena, you really want your fastest champion to be someone that can turn meter boost. A lot of people do Sify or Lady Kimmy because they have higher base speeds, but I prefer Arbiter because I like her A3, which gives you the turn meter boost and increased attack. So with the very best gear I had, I was able to get her up to 322. Now, let's see what I didn't have. Normally you go triple speed set, but I didn't have good enough speed gloves or speed boots. So I had this triple speed in gloves. And of course, these are just speed boots. But then let's see what our rolls are in these other one. We've got a double speed. Don't throw away those rares. I mean, maybe 5-star rares you could throw away, but you know, a rare can be good because if you double roll it, that's still 15. And then a double roll, and then a double roll, and then a single roll. So I feel pretty good that most people's accounts, if you've been playing several months to a year, and that's really not an eternity in the time length of raid. A lot of people play this game for a long time, but you should be able to pull off these speed rolls. 322 speed. And then Deacon, where is he? He just kind of did speed and perception to get along as far as what the speed tuning. Now this video is about CvC, so I'm not really going to go any further into Arena. Know a few things about Arena though. Classic Arena does not really give you a lot of points compared to other areas of the game for CvC. A big area for points is Tag Team Arena. As you see, I've got 0 right here because I'm in Gold 2 and 3v3 is very challenging. We've got our best team, which comes from Classic Arena. Then we've kind of got to sift through what's essentially some Vault Guardians, some Vault Champions, and say, how can I make a team out of this? So my strategy for 3v3 to be prepared is I go with a 1-cham defense on all 3 of my teams, and I let people beat me up. So I'm ending up matched up against these kind of defenses, and we win trade. So I'm Gold 2. What day is it today that I'm recording it? It's Thursday. I'm not going to stay Gold 2. I'm going to make the decision, leave my 1-man defense in, and just bully these. It's not even bully, just battle and win trade with these 1-cham defenses themselves. It's going to get me gold bars for the bazaar so I can buy more fun things like shards and accessories that they have that are unique and skill tome and all that jazz. But I'm going to fall to Gold 1. And gold 1 next week, I'm damn sure going to put in a serious defense and make effort to stay there. You don't want to do this strategy if you're in gold 1 and you'll fall to silver 4. You do not want to fall a bronze, silver, or gold tier. You need to make sure. So on my main account, I swap between gold 3 and gold 4. I make sure I'm set up in gold 4 for CvC because it maximizes the point. As you may have noticed, it's another day as the CvC label is gone. I couldn't fit any more in from what I was working on yesterday. And here we have another gem in the gem mine. If you look previously in the video, it was about 3689, I believe, was the gem count. And just over one day, 12 hours, it's up to 3738. And that's from the gem mine in the clan boss. And other things you can get gems, which I didn't mention earlier, are events and tournaments. So if you're concerned about how can I play the game if I want to play it as much as I want to play it because I'm not using gems for energy, luckily enough, Clarium has provided tons of content that can be done without energy. So let's go over what some of those are. Basically, the only two areas that require energy are the two left in this screen, the game modes, campaign and dungeon. I understand grinding dungeons is important. You got to get gear upgrades and all of that. But everything to the right of that, you've got faction wars. You get keys per day. You can spend time trying to move forward. If your goal is Lydia, that's a big goal. She's an amazing champion. You've got Arena, which we touched on earlier. One thing I wanted to mention was while we were talking about Classic Arena, I wasn't trying to explain only that this is the way you can climb the ranks in Classic Arena. What I was trying to say and relate that to CvC is you get the medals. Now, just don't go and use those as soon as you get them in the Great Hall. It's something that can give a lot of points when you put the medals in the Great Hall to get rewards. I understand this can become part of what is Weight Shadow Legends rather than Raid Shadow Legends, but those points that you put in, whether it's 1% defense, 2%, it's not game-changing to your account. So just save those up, and it's some quick points you can get from CvC. Then we talked about Clan Boss already. So this is, though, another area that you can use, that you can play without gems or energy. And then the Doom Tower we talked about, and I mentioned how it's important to do the bosses with your silver keys to get items for your forge. So now that I went back over that and explained what the 4 areas were that you can do without energy, some other options are making alts, play another game, go outside. That's a bad word for me, outside. It should be censored. But anyway, seriously, go to the forge, and we've got 1,214 items we can do with the forge. This is a lot of points, and with this CvC for Bluebonnet, I just didn't have the time to use this. So now it'll be available for next time. It's not very common that these gear items are going to make or break your account either. So it's pretty safe to do unless you're really new in the game. But this is supposed to be meant more towards people who are mid-game to late game. Perception set is amazing, and then as you're farming the Doom Tower bosses, you'll start getting some of these gear set options later. Now, as far as Weight Shadow Legends, this is just a suggestion to completely min-max your resources. If there's a ×2 and you want to open a shard, if there's a ×10 and you want to open a shard, if you know you're near Mercy and there's a special event that say like get 1 Lego free if you find one, by all means go ahead and do that. This is your game. If you want forge equipment, just go ahead and do that. If you get tomes from the clan boss, just go ahead and use them. But if you have a feeling that you can wait, try your best to wait. Now you may be wondering, looking up at my silver count, how did I get 127 million silver? This is a large amount. It comes down to when you're playing your game, you need to have a focus on what your goal is. So, for Blue's account, she'd been doing Dragon for a long time. I felt like I'd gotten her speed up pretty well on a lot of her champions. And some of the other dungeons are just, they take too long for her to do, or she can't progress without me spending a lot of time of making a new team, such as the Doom Tower. So what I decided to do is just, whenever I get my, let's say, 500 energy throughout the day that we discussed, just go to Spider. And I've done that for quite a few weeks now, and it's ballooned up to this. Now that I have a big lump of almost 3,000 energy, I kind of relax on focusing on Spider. I can do a lot of things with this. Whenever I do get to playing with this, I'm probably going to do campaign. You see, I have the XP boost, which I got from CvC. Right now is a good time for me to grind up some food champions and maybe level up, get some more 60s, at least get some more 50s, so I'm ready if I want to level up to 60 for an event or tournament or anything. But there's a lot of areas, and it can get overwhelming if you try to do all of them at once. If you don't have Arbiter and you want to get Arbiter, make that your goal. Focus solely on the missions down here. If you want Lydia, spend a lot of your time in faction wars. Yada yada. If you want Rontu, spend a lot of time in that. If you want a certain gear set, whether it's Savage or Speed gear, spend a lot of time in that. So that's kind of how I suggest using the energy. I just do Spider because it's very fast for me, so I like quick and easy. Once she runs out, I can hop on my main and really focus on things I want to do there. Other things you can do that are not like gameplay based, are not like you deciding a team and whatnot, is go through your gear, go through your artifacts and accessories, and do a gear cleanse. This is painful. I know. We've almost got a full 1300. This is too close for me personally. I don't like being this close. So she's probably due for a gear cleanse that I'll do. And same with accessories, 1166. Gear cleanses can take a couple hours. So if you're looking to still play the game while not using energy or gems, this is another way. Now with the addition of new champion vaults as well, got the master vault and the reserve vault, I try to organize this too. It may only take 15, 20, 30 minutes, but I think of a plan of what do I want to do? Who do I want in the reserve vault? I've got my 5-star food here. Who do I want my master vault? Do I want to take off some of this gear and have more room in the master vault for epics that I'm building? Maybe I move them to the reserve vault. Just making things like that. It's kind of just like, I don't know if you would call it OCD, but it's organization, and it gives a break from the monotony of what can be pop-ups everywhere, of what the monotony can be of just grinding the same dungeon over and over again. Okay, and to wrap this all together and bring up a final point, exactly what is important in CvC? How do points get collected and what matters? I wish I had the label to click on here for you, but some of the points, some of the events that you do have more worth than the others. If you do Minotaur during a CvC, it's pretty low on the points. Some of the higher points are going to be Spider Dungeon, 3v3 Tag Arena, upgrading gear, and getting champions. Now that can mean whether summoning them or ranking them up. Another thing that you want to know about CvC is, let's see, this is ×2 for the faction wars. If I were to go up to floor 1 and use my 2 keys, it's check super rate. So this is actually 2 battles, and it only gives 1 battle's worth of points. So to maximize your points, click that off, do 1 at a time. You're going to get 2 times the CvC rewards. It's the same if there's a 2 times spider going on, or if there's 2 times anything going on in the dungeon. Another thing you can do, like right immediately before CvC, is the day before, do as much Demon Lord as possible. If you have spare keys somewhere, use them. Because the next day, CvC is going to start, and at that point, you'll collect your rewards from the clan boss. And collecting rewards gives clan boss CvC points. So if you can do as much as you can beforehand, that's good. Another thing is faction wars. Do not do faction wars as soon as the reset happens the day before CvC. Save them for when CvC starts and then do them, because you're not going to get the points because you've already done the faction wars before the official CV has started. Now, there's one last confession I do have to make. While everything I've said and suggested in this video are valid and good ways to get quick CvC points and to get a lot of them without using a lot of gems, I will say on this account, I spend the $10 to get... Where is it? To get the daily gem pack. This is $10. I get 50 gems a day, so it's not 100% free to play. It's kind of cheating, but that does help my gem count stack up a little bit. Now, if you've got $10, that's great. If you don't have $10, or if you have $10 and don't want to spend it on a stupid mobile game, then don't do it. But by far, that's the best package in the game, and it's definitely worth getting so you can slowly work your gem count up as you're waiting for CvC. So with all that said, you should have some ideas in your pocket that can hopefully help you get more points in CvC. And I hope we don't come across you, because with all these tips, you just might take us down. And as always, it was good to see you. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you have a good day.